Hello, how are you doing? How are you doing today? Happy Friday. Oh my goodness, it's Friday. Well, it's Friday for me right now, but you might be watching this on another day. How are you doing? It's been a while since I have gone live or even maybe seen you. I've been busy working hard to get my counselling stuff sorted and also to launch the course that's starting on the May the 3rd. But I just sent an email out to my email list about Upgrade Your Self-Confidence next week. It's back. Upgrade Your Self-Confidence is back next week on the 20th, Thursday the 20th at 6 p.m. UK time. So yeah, let me know if you haven't got the email, if you would like to get the email. I will post a link to the Eventbrite to register for next week's free class here. Facebook doesn't really like when we post external links. Not many people see it. So what I'll do is I'll post the link as a comment under this live as well. In fact, I wonder if I can do that now. I wonder if I can actually, probably not. Yeah, maybe I can actually. Hold on a minute. Yeah. There we go. That's it. It's really amazing how that affects our confidence, right? I'm wearing my indoors cozy warm clothes right now, but I went for a coffee with my neighbour this morning, and it was really nice to just go through my wardrobe and look at all my beautiful coloured spring summer clothes. It's not really warm enough to wear most of it yet, so I'm still layering, but it's amazing what that does to our confidence. I highly recommend, if you haven't already, switch over. If you do that, if you've got a seasonal wardrobe, switch over to your spring summer, because it is like such a confidence boost to be wearing. Like, I love colourful clothes, so it feels like my authentic self wants to wear, my inner child wants to wear these colourful clothes. And I even painted my nails in a bright spring green colour just to get into the mood. Next week on Upgrade Your Self-Confidence, I'm not sure what we'll be doing yet. I'm not sure what subject we'll be focusing on yet. We might do a process. We might talk about a specific subject. If there is something particular that you would like me to talk about, please pop it in a comment below or post it on the Facebook group page. I would love to know if there is something in your life that you are struggling with confidence-wise, or anything at all for that matter. Please let me know. You can send me a direct message. You can post it in here as a comment. What would you like me to talk about next week for the class? And if nobody comments, then I'll just think of something to do. But I would love, because obviously I'm doing these to help as many people as I can, and if you have a specific aspect of your life that you're struggling with, then you won't be the only one, right? You won't be the only human being on the planet to experience that, to be going through that struggle. So I would love for you to let me know what you're struggling with, and then I can tailor the workshop towards that, because it won't just be you that will be experiencing that. It will be many, probably most of us, or maybe some of us have in the past. Whether that's something with relationships, family members, work, career, money, whatever it is, anything, any topic is not there are no subjects that are out of bounds here. I'm very conscious about making this a really safe space that we can discuss anything with respect, obviously respectfully discuss whatever we want, whatever we are feeling and thinking about, because for many of us, growing up, we did not have a safe space where we could express ourselves freely. So I'm very conscious of creating that space for us here and on the calls. Of course, the calls is different because there's a lot of people coming in who are new to this work. But in here, we've either been here for a little while, or we're perhaps newer to it, but we understand what it's all about. We understand it's all about expressing ourselves, coming into alignment with our true selves, doing the inner work with our inner child, healing and integrating our inner child, nurturing them, nourishing them, giving them what we didn't get when we were little, and reparenting ourselves, coming back into alignment with our authentic, confident selves, right? Because remember, there's a difference. There's inauthentic confidence and there's authentic confidence, and inauthentic self-confidence is based in insecurity. It's based on the concept that I need to be seen, that I'm not worthy, I need validation. I mean, human beings, we need validation anyway, but when you are acting confident from that insecure place, it's usually because you're desperate for validation. And we're rebalancing our consciousness back into that secure, grounded space where it's safe for us to be seen, it's safe for us to be ourselves, it's safe for us to express ourselves freely and express our emotions and how we feel, and so that we can create safe spaces for others too, to do that, so that we can be the example in the world, so that we can live more harmoniously in our families and our friendships and our relationships, so we can live more contently, we can live with relief and freedom and contentment and satisfaction, right? Once you get into alignment with your inner being and your authentic, confident self, it's like relief. It's like, oh my God, thank God I don't have to try and be this person that I have been told I have to be, or the society says I have to be. Oh, it's like relief. It's like weight off shoulders. It's epic. We're 3 weeks away from, are we 3 weeks? I feel like we're 3 weeks away from Feeling Safe to Be Seen, my new confidence course. 3 weeks. I'm so excited. On the 3rd of May 2023, my online course Feeling Safe to Be Seen is launching. It's a 4-week course. It consists of worksheets, so like it's a 10-step course, 10-step program to come into alignment with your authentic self-confidence and feel safe to be seen, feel safe to put yourself out there, whether that's in relationships, your career, in the gym, whatever, in friendship, whatever it is that you currently don't feel safe to be seen in. For many of us who experience low self-confidence, low self-esteem, low self-concept, putting ourselves out there is freaking terrifying. It feels icky, it feels unsafe, it feels scary, it feels stressful, it feels guilty, it feels anxiety inducing, it feels frightening, it feels shameful to put ourselves out there, whether that is in work, asking for more money, asking for more time, asking for more whatever, perhaps because we've been conditioned to be fawners, people pleasers. It's not safe for us to go and exercise in the gym because we're worried that we're going to look silly, or we're too this or we're too that, or we're not good enough, or we're going to, and it's like the gym is this whole like, toxic masculine environment, whatever it is, because perhaps in the past we have been told that in order for us to be lovable or likable, we have to look like this, and perhaps we've used our weight or certain aspects of our body or image as a safety blanket, right? As a way to hide and not be seen. Perhaps we feel like it's not safe to be seen in relationships. Perhaps we have put ourselves out there in the past and we've been hurt, or we've asked for what we want in the past and we've been told, no, you can't have it, you're not good enough. So it's no longer safe for us to put ourselves out there anymore, because the risk of being hurt again is too strong. The risk is too high. Perhaps we feel unsafe to be seen in our businesses. Perhaps you want to start your own business, or you want to start a new project, and it doesn't feel safe to be seen because you might be criticised or judged or called out or told you're wrong. And this was a huge one for me. I have always had my own businesses. I ran a creative therapy business for almost 10 years. I ran a costume business for 15 years. Although I don't really run the business anymore, I have other people doing it for me. I still go in every so often and keep my hand in and do specific VIP jobs. So the costume business was a business that I started because it's what a parent wanted me to do. A parent wanted me to go into this line of work. I never did. I wanted to help people. So I ended up working in the fashion industry. That's another story for another time. I only felt safe to be seen because I knew that it would, my worthiness was dependent on this thing, right?
I could do this, I could put myself out there and I could be seen in the environment because I knew that someone else wanted it for me, and if they believed in me, they didn't really believe in me, that's another story for another time, but I had the idea that they believed in me, so it was easier for me to put myself out there, even though it wasn't what I really wanted. When I ended up hating the job and burning out and stressing out and having the worst time ever, I shifted over and launched my creative therapy business, right, where I took the aspects from the fashion and costume business that I was running and put it out there and started helping people with it. I had major imposter syndrome, right, even though I had loads of qualifications in counselling and helping people and listening and things like that. I felt like I was not safe to put myself out there because I didn't have I didn't have the thumbs up from the family members, right? They wanted me to do, or a family member wanted me to do the fashion stuff, the costume stuff, but I didn't have their approval, right, to do this job. And I was trying to prove my worthiness. I tried to prove my worthiness, my goodness by doing the costume business, but that didn't get me. I still didn't believe I was worthy or good enough. And so I tried to be good. I tried to show that I was good, right, by doing my creative therapy business. That still didn't work, right? I did it for 9 years, won awards doing it. I helped people. At one point I was helping about 8,000 people in person a year with creative therapy business. We're working in prisons, in youth prisons, in hospices, in hospitals, in community centres, in bars, in pubs. We were all over the UK. I was doing it abroad in Europe as well. It was huge. It got really, really, really big, but I still didn't feel like I was good enough. I still didn't feel safe to be seen because I felt like an imposter. I felt like somebody was going to come along at some point and tell the world that Iona is a fake. She's no good. She's crap. She's bad. She did all these bad things when she was little. She doesn't deserve to have this success. It was crushing. Like, it was soul crushing. I felt my soul like imploding in on itself on a regular basis. Like, it felt like a sinking feeling. It felt heavy. It felt like dread. It felt like fear and uncertainty of like what the future holds. Like, I had tunnel vision. I could only really see so far. I couldn't think about the future too much because it was too stressful, because I just didn't know what would happen. So I didn't feel safe to be seen in my businesses. That might be in alignment with how you feel. What else is there? So we've got businesses, we've got health. Health, right? So you may not feel safe to be seen in your health. If you were experiencing a mental health challenge, an emotional health challenge, a physical health challenge, you may feel unsafe to ask for help. You may feel like it's not safe for you to speak to family members about how you really feel, or tell people what's really happening, and you're having to like hold it all in because you feel like you're going to be a burden, or you're going to attract attention, and attention's never been a good thing. Or you feel like, my washing machine is going, I do apologise. You might feel like you have to put on a brave face, right? Because you have a family to support, or you have a partner to support, or you have specific things that you have to do in life, so you just have to put on a brave face, and you can't show how you really feel. You can't say how you really feel because of how other people are going to react. And this is like the crux of the course. The crux of us feeling unsafe to be seen usually comes from an external other thing, other person, other people. We don't feel safe to be seen because of what other people might do or say. So what we have to do, right, we can't control other people. We cannot, even though darned as we might try, right, as fawners, as people pleasers, we might desperately try to control, or not control, but influence how other people feel, right? We might have this conditioning, deep-seated conditioning, that it's our responsibility to make sure that people don't feel bad, to make sure that people are happy and smiling and not uncomfortable we have to make sure that everyone's comfortable and safe and feeling good, which is great, which is awesome. It's a beautiful aspect to have as a human being. Wonderful, love it. But when it comes at the expense of us, of ourselves, it's not sustainable. Not only is it not sustainable for our health, but it's also teaching other people that that's what you have to do. And we want to squash this, right? We want to backtrack and deprogram ourselves from this conditioning. So on the course on feeling safe to be seen, we have 10 steps that take us through this whole feeling unsafe to be seen. So the 10 steps are, if I can find them, if I can find what I've done with them. I posted a reel on my Instagram page. It wasn't my reel? No, I posted it as a story on my Instagram page. So we have first step, tip number 1 is identifying, right? Identifying where we in life don't feel safe to be seen. Where in life we want to feel safe to be seen, and where in life we want to be able to put ourselves out there, right? Even though we don't know how we're going to do it, even though the concept of doing it feels freaking terrifying, we have to become aware of what we've got going on, right? We have to become aware of where we want to feel safe to be seen, right? So where in life do we want to experience more confidence? And then we observe the thoughts and feelings. I'm not going to go into all 10 steps. I'm going to save that for when the course starts. I'll maybe do the first 5. We observe, become aware of what we've got going on at an emotional level. So we've identified where we want to feel safe to be seen, and then we identify our thoughts and feelings around that awareness, right? Whether that is of feeling safe to be seen itself, or whether that is what's going to happen if we were to put ourselves out there and be seen. Awareness is the first step on the path of empowerment, right? When we become aware, we become empowered to make better decisions, to decide this is what I want, this is what I don't want. Step 3 is coming to terms with and identifying and then coming to terms with what the worst thing to happen could be if we were seen, and what must we believe is true about ourselves to feel that way, right? So what is the worst thing that could happen if I was to be seen, and what must I believe is true about myself, right? If I believe that the worst thing that could happen if I'm seen, if I put myself out there is I'm going to get rejected, what must I believe is true about myself to be rejected? That I'm not good enough. At my core, I'm a bad person, and that I don't deserve to have good things, right? This hypothetically could be, it is actually a perspective that I had for a long time, that I'm going to be rejected because I'm not good enough, because I'm a bad person, right? So we become aware. Once we've identified, become aware of what that perspective is, we then have the power to go in and change it, or at least just be aware of when it's happening, right? Like, I'm about to step out the door and go and visit a friend. When on the way there, I might feel like I could be rejected at any point or by my friend. Step 4, what evidence do I have in my life, or what evidence am I using to keep this perspective true, right? So if I was to use the perspective of I might be rejected because I'm not good enough, because I'm a bad person at my core, the evidence that I am keeping that true would be things like, well, I got 4 unsubscribes from my email list today because of the email that I sent out. And I could go into detail on that. I could be like, well, maybe they didn't like the way that I said this, or maybe they just don't like me, or maybe I'm sending out too many emails. All of which is, I know, is BS, because I like what I say. I think I have value, and I also understand that if people don't want to see it, if people don't want the emails, then that's fine. You can do what you want. You can unsubscribe. I don't want to pressure or convince anyone to stay in my circle. So that's one piece of evidence. Another piece of evidence could be that nobody wants to talk to me, right? That I'm finding it difficult to put myself out there and meet people. Nobody wants me, right? I could use that as a piece of evidence. So we start collecting evidence that we have been collecting, because our subconscious mind loves to create evidence. It loves to collect evidence, right? Our chimp brain loves evidence because it needs evidence to back up these perspectives. In order for me to believe that I am not good enough, unworthy, and bad at my core, and that I deserve rejection, my subconscious needs evidence for that, right? So my subconscious will be constantly looking for evidence. So that's step 4. Step 5 is the halfway point. So in step 5, we start to look at and learn tools. And I give out loads of tools in this course and resources that we can access to either reframe our perspectives and bounce back from them, from that evidence, and decide that evidence is no longer relevant for us if it happens again. And it will happen again, because these perspectives that we have been carrying with us, that it's not safe, are decades old. These are neural pathways that have been firing for decades. So in order for us to reprogram ourselves, a decades old program is not going to take just once or twice, right? It's a consistent, and I use the word effort lightly, right? Because I don't want it to be hit, like, you know, a burnout level, but it does require a consistent amount of effort and work. This is why this course exists, to break down this effort, to break down this work into manageable chunks so that you can understand why it's happening and how to move through it with the tools and resources. So I teach and I give you resources, and you will already have resources, right? But perhaps you don't have the confidence to use them, or you don't know how to use them. So we start to learn and think about resources and tools that we can use when these thoughts and feelings come up for us, and how we can bounce back from them, how we can reframe them, and how we can decide. Even though this course is only 4 weeks long, I am giving lifetime access to everyone who signs up to the course, so that you can chip away at it, right? So that these decades old pathways and thoughts and feelings over time they shrink, and new pathways will emerge, right? Preferred pathways, right? The ones that feel better, the ones that lead to freedom, relief, and feeling safe to put yourself out there, feeling excited to put yourself out there. I'm going to do this course at least once a year. I would love to do this course twice a year. So for the next forever, you have access to this course whenever I do it again. You'll have access to the course all the time anyway, but I will be adding new modules onto the course every single time I do it. And in that way, I am, what's the word? I'm with you, right? If you were to do this course twice a year for the next 4 years, those pathways are gonna be like, I mean, they're gonna go from being like big, like dragons to tiny little molecules. And that's how they feel. Like, these pathways, they feel so overwhelming, and they feel so oppressing, right? Oppressive. These not good enoughness, this unworthiness, this feeling unsafe to be seen, this feeling guilty and shameful. These are such heavy, foreboding, oppressive, suppressive, depressive feelings and thoughts. And I want you and I want us to come together to shrink this stuff, to really like turn it around, not only for you but for the people around you, because you have such influence over, even if you have kids, right? Obviously you're influencing your kids every day with your actions, what you do, what you say to yourself, and how you feel about yourself and how you think about yourself. is going to be that. It's going to be probably your kids as well, because they're looking at you and they don't do what you say, they do what you do. So you could be telling them to believe in themselves, but you don't believe in yourself, right? So how are they going to believe in themselves when they're looking at you and you don't believe in yourself? So how am I going to believe in myself? That kind of stuff. So you have so much influence over the people around you. Even if you don't have kids, your colleagues, your partners, the people you work with, your nieces, your nephews, your friends, we are all influencing these people subconsciously and consciously. So whenever we start to do the work, whenever we turn it around and feel a little bit safer, right, we're increasing the window of tolerance. I'm probably going to post a video about that in a little while that I recorded. The window of tolerance of feeling safe to be seen. When we have self-confidence challenges and complex trauma and things like that, our window of tolerance of feeling safe to be seen is teeny weeny tiny. And when we do this work, we're gradually opening the window of tolerance bit by bit by bit by bit. We're not opening it huge because that's overwhelming too much. We have to open it bit by bit by bit by bit. So that's the first 5 steps in the 10-step system for feelings that I have developed for feeling safe to be seen. And all of these steps are in the workbook that we do every week for the 4-week periods. And obviously you can continue that when you continue on with the course. So I've put the link for the Upgrade Your Self-Confidence in the first comment. And in the second comment, I'm going to add, if it's going to let me, I'm going to add the link to. Okay, so we've got Upgrade Your Self-Confidence at the top, and then we've got Feeling Safe to be Seen underneath. Yeah, so let me know what you want to talk about on Upgrade Your Self-Confidence next week, and I'm probably going to do a little giveaway for Feeling Safe to be Seen. I might talk about that at some point this week. In this group this week, next week, sorry, or is it the week after? It's the week before we do the course, Feeling Safe to be Seen. I'm going to do a live call extravaganza. I'm going to do 3 or 4 days of live calls. All about feeling safe to be seen, like a little taster for the course that I will take off this page at some point and then upload as bonuses to the course for future participants and for yourselves. I hope you have a beautiful weekend, and I hope that you are feeling confident, and if you're not, that's totally cool. It's all good. Whatever stage you're at in life, wherever you are in life is perfect, right? You don't have to be or do anything. Where you are is perfect. Start from where you are, right? It's great to feel like you want to improve or you want to feel better and you want to do things and do great things in life, but start where you are. Where you are, I believe, is perfect. You're not broken, there's nothing wrong with you. Where you are is just great. Even if it sucks, right? Even if it freaking sucks to be where you are, then I believe that is perfect, right? Where you are is where you are. And have a beautiful weekend. If you have any questions, pop a comment in this live, and I will see you very soon. Lots of love. Bye bye.